Anyways, Max Kaiser is a good guy. You know, he knows the Soroses and people. I think he said that on air a few times, so I can say that on air. And they kind of told him what was coming in the future. You know, you don't just think Max came up with the casino gulag all by himself. No, what's going to happen is no one's going to have any jobs. We're going to be forcefully displaced from them. Men have been turned into jellyfish. Women will be on these power trippers that are just worshiping the state and think not having kids is cool. And we're done. And then you will be paid. You will be paid if you win the video games. And that'll be your job that you play all day. But when you lose, you will have to pay money. But just like Ready Player One that they push on you, that's actually the plan. So it's all admitted. Nation states can't exist. Families can't exist. They want you as weak and dumb as you can. Colleges all over Europe, all over the U.S. If people are upset about anything, they're taught to flop around like 2-year-olds. They play with Play-Doh and construction paper, but they can't have scissors. This is 20-year-old people. Meanwhile, young children are being taught that whites are inherently evil. We showed that video from a public YouTube series where they're taught communism and the hatred of America and the hatred of men, white men specifically. Now, let's get into where this is going, because this is the corporatist. Remember, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, you can pull it up, would not allow their sons, their daughters access to any digital phones, any computers, any iPads, nothing. They were allowed to technically, with textbooks, learn how they work and learn with limited programs how the guts worked, but not the propaganda they were putting out. Because Zuckerberg and others, they're the ruling class. Zuckerberg's employees are ordered to put on VR goggles and hunch over, but he walks bipedally above them. Maybe we can pull that up, the shot that tells it all. So where is it going? Where's it going here? Again, if you're a radio listener, remember, my crew's so good, everything I say they put on screen within seconds. Or I flip out, which is not good. I tell you Steve Jobs didn't let his kids have it. I tell you Bill Gates didn't let his kids have it. I tell you the stuff, it's true. Now, TV viewers are like, yeah, we're watching it. So, I was told this by Max Kaiser. And Max is a great guy, but you notice Max doesn't come on anymore. Because Max got in some trouble. Max is very good friends with George Soros' sons. And I'm going to leave it at that. And I'm going to leave it at that. I think I'm going to stop. I'm about to start saying some things. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I said I wouldn't say it. Sorry. Anyways, that's why he told us about this 10 years ago, the exact plan. But I'm not supposed to tell you the part about the Soroses, so forget I said that. Actually, see, I never break confidences, and now I'm about to do it. Oh, my God. I see, if I ever do stuff like this, people will stop telling me things. But at a certain point, this is criminal, so I should tell you. I'm going to go crazy. I can't handle it anymore. Why do I have to put up with this? Why don't people say no to this crap? I'm not going to tell you what I was going to tell you. I'm going to stop right there. And this is, I'm not putting an act on here, guys. I'm actually going crazy right now. I mean, I went out to eat with my wife last night for her 40th birthday. And her birthday's not yesterday. I didn't dox my wife. It was a while back, but we haven't had time to go out till now. And I had multiple leftists come over and say things to me, which is fine, except they're so mentally ill and so stupid, they don't know that I'm their friend. Because she wanted to go to this trendy sushi place. Doesn't happen most places, and it was good. And I'm in there, and I'm like, most people like me, but I don't care that they hate me. It's that they really think I'm the bad guy when all I'm trying to do is warn everybody, and I've been proven consistently right about all this stuff over and over and over and over and over and over again. And now it's passé what I cover because it's all the really bad stuff about to happen now and is happening. China's about 4 years ahead of us. The EU is about 2 years ahead of us. Venezuela is about a year ahead of us. And there's an exact plan. And I've got all the articles today admitting all of it. You think I get happy when everything we predicted comes exactly true? Anyways, Max Kaiser is a good guy. You know, he knows the Soroses and people. I think he said that on air a few times, so I can say that on air. And they kind of told him what was coming in the future. You know, you don't just think Max came up with the casino gulag all by himself. No, what's going to happen is no one's going to have any jobs. We're going to be forcefully displaced from them. Men have been turned into jellyfish. Women will be on these power trippers that are just worshiping the state and think not having kids is cool. And we're done. And then you will be paid. You will be paid if you win the video games. And that'll be your job that you play all day. But when you lose, you will have to pay money. But just like Ready Player One that they push on you, that's actually the plan. But Kaiser told you on the air here 15 years ago, not in Ready Player One. So they're really building that. This isn't a game. This isn't funny. This is really happening. And Kaiser's just one of the sources. Amusement tax. This is a Kit Daniels article. Everyone might want to read this on newswars.com. and Infowars.com. Newswars.com isn't as blacklisted and blocked, so it'll share better if you share it from Newswars.com. And by the way, Newswars is now a quarter the size of Infowars. It's now a big old website. It got a big old ding-a-ling. Amusement tax forced on PlayStation gamers in Chicago. There's only one cesspit worse than San Francisco or L.A., and that's Chicago, the test bed. Well, I guess New York's a close third. City owes $130 billion to public pensions, according to reports. So now it's like drugs. The left always brings drugs in, then has people use it, then lets the criminals rob poorer areas to pay the money back to the government that brings the drugs in the Democrat areas. Well, now this is their drug on dopamine. And so when you want to sign up for PlayStation every year, and notice it's PlayStation and Microsoft working with the government, and other video game companies to totally control your life and tax everything you do. So it's that seamless integration. PlayStation gamers are now forced to pay an amusement tax in Chicago as city officials tax everything to cover underfunded public pensions. The gamers were, but don't worry, let's bring in more illegal aliens to bankrupt things. That'll fix it, right? Gamers were recently notified that they would have to pay a 9% levy every time they pay for PlayStation subscription services such as PlayStation Now, PlayStation Plus, and PlayStation Music. The city's amusement tax, which used to apply mostly to concert and sporting event tickets, was extended to include streaming services. That means now your digital devices, reported the Chicago Tribune. That includes charges paid for playing games, according to Chicago Finance Department. Spotify, Netflix, and Hulu were already collecting the tax on consumers. Apple, on the other hand, took the city to court. Chicago, they never pay any tax. They just run slave camps. They're on the top of the pyramid, bitches, not the bottom. Chicago forced the tax on gamers after the city fell $130 billion in pension debt. Now, that's just an example. And that means total control, total surveillance. Now, here's the big enchilada, as they say. Venezuela is releasing an ID card that can track and punish citizens. And then they later admit, okay, it's really the global social score that tracks everything you do, and China built it, and it's coming to America. Coming to America. Here's Reuters. Right here, I just showed you Reuters. Chinese telecom giant building Venezuela's social credit system. It's called, wait for it, the Fatherland card. And we have the Chinese dictator with the dictator of Venezuela marching together in a military parade. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, they got a plan for you.
You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
He goes to jail. He goes to jail. Lock him up.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
The globalists know that if they suppress the good halogen and pump the environment full of the bad halogens, fluoride, chlorine, bromide, you name it, that it lowers IQ. It literally dumbs the population down. And on our quest to bring our listeners and viewers the best iodine in the world, we've gone through two permutations. first seaweed-based iodine that was pretty good but hard to source, and the globalists tried to block us getting a supply of it. So we discovered deep earth crystals of pure nascent iodine and brought you X2 that's been incredible. Now, due to the establishment trying to block that, we did more research and secured more of the deep earth crystals of nascent iodine. But chemists, scientists, and others showed us the research that by combining it with 3 other compounds, 2 forms of iodine and vitamin C, it supercharges it and makes it even more bioavailable. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to research it, you want to see it. It's an incredible discovery. X3, now available at InfoWarsLife.com.